This is bloody great news. So Chad Stahelski signed a deal with Lionsgate where he gets essentially the Kevin Feige role over John Wick and Highlander. That's the news. That's great news. So I can't stress it enough. This is really good news. Chad Stahelski is finally making his his long gestating Highlander movie. So that's going into production next. I know I've got pictures currently from Scotland. They were doing some pre-production work before Christmas, actually. So they've been scouting for a little while. So they're ready to go on that. The director has been developing the project since 2016. So this is the Highlander reboot with Henry Cavill, which is incredible. It's a reimagining of the 1986 film, of course, with Christopher Lambert, Sean Connery, Clancy Brown. There can be only one. Brilliant. Love it. But here's the interesting thing. So we'll get to the Highlander stuff because that's great. But Highlander's greenlight is part of a sweeping new deal Stahelski and Lionsgate announced Tuesday. The pact will give Stahelski oversight of two franchises, Highlander and John Wick, the latter of which has spanned 4 films directed by Stahelski and starring Keanu Reeves. Those films and Stahelski's stunt-focused 8711 entertainment have been praised for reinventing the action genre. Stahelski will shepherd both franchises across TV, because of course, Wick was the Continental. This is great. He's literally the Kevin Feige of John Wick and Highlander. What do you guys think? I think that's great. And the reason why, I'll make my case, my argument, right? Whenever Disney announces something, they have no longer earned the right for my benefit of the doubt because they release more shit than they release good. These people and these products and this man has earned my benefit of the doubt. So when I see this, I go, that's bloody great news. I'm quite happy with this. I think this will be great. What do you guys think? Culture, I can see you want to say stuff.
Well, I do, and I'm going to add Andre into the conversation real fast because this is a polar opposite thing, and Tom as well. This is polar opposite of what we used to think of Lionsgate. Lionsgate, we used to have no faith in; they were a bomb factory. Now roles have been reversed. Disney's a bomb factory, and I trust Stahelski, and I trust that he is a good shepherd for both of these projects. And I'm looking for amazing things to come out of this. I was thrilled that we were going to get the Highlander project in the first place. Well, I have more faith in it now, believing that it will be wonderfully well cared for. And I mean, and the fact that I'm going to get more Wick universe stuff, I'm over the moon. Over the moon.
People in the chat are a bit confused. They're like, are we getting a Highlander John Wick crossover? No. Different franchises. Stahelski is just managing them both. Just, yeah.
So
excited. That would be a cool crossover, though.
But yeah, this Highlander project's been gestating for a long, long, long time. So I still wonder if this is, what's his face who played Drax, Dave Bautista, if he's still attached to this then or what?
I don't think he ever was. Henry Cavill was the only one officially.
No, Bautista was attached at one point.
Officially?
Yes. But this was back in one of the last few years of the version, so I wonder if he still is. Because at that time, and I still wonder if he was set to play the Kurgan.
In 2015. I think that was a different...
Well, that would have been prior to this. Okay, so never mind. That was prior.
That would have been prior to Chad Stahelski.
Never mind then. Never mind. I was trying to remember when that was. So yeah.
No, you're right there. Good memory, because this is one which has been...
so it's been even longer than this. We've been trying to make this movie.
No. Chad Stahelski's been developing this since 2016. Dave Bautista was on it in 2015. So he obviously that film project obviously fell apart, and then a different director came on board, from what I can Google anyway. Because Dave Bautista was the Kurgan, but that was in 2015. Right. Stahelski wasn't on board then at that point, I don't think.
So yeah, this is a different version then, yeah.
Yeah. Well, what do you think though? Good news, bad? I think this is great.
As long as the movie's good, as a huge Highlander fan, I'm cautiously optimistic. Because it seems like you got the right people involved. You got an actor who's notorious for basically, trying to keep things close to the source material. The director has already come out and said that they're trying to kind of plan this for a franchise to where this is going to be more like a prequel in a sense than it is a straight remake of the original Highlander. So I mean,
Yeah.
you can take that a few different ways, but I think that the main point of that is going to be that they're going to set this up to where when the first movie's done, it's not over, right? Like because that was the big problem with the original Highlander was when they went back to try and do part 2, they had to fix a bunch of crap that they screwed up by not leaving the film more open-ended. Which,
Yeah.
for a single film, it doesn't matter. But if you're clearly trying to build a franchise where something like Highlander does have that potential, this is one of those few times I would say, yeah, take a chance. Especially with somebody like Henry Cavill, and you got one of the guys behind John Wick. I mean, it makes sense on paper, but we've seen that happen in the past. So till I actually see the movie, I'm gonna be cautiously optimistic. But yeah, I think this is good news overall.
Here's some comments from Stahelski. He says, I'm pleased to be able to grow my relationship with Lionsgate in this new oversight role for the John Wick universe and its further expansion. John Wick is so close to my heart, and to be able to continue shepherding it will be a blast for me. I'm so happy to also be launching another franchise with Highlander, a world that is so rich with engaging stories to be told. So he's already got ideas.
I hope so, if he's been on this thing since 2016.
Yeah, fair enough. True. Very true. But what do you reckon to this news then, Nick?
I mean, I think the right people are involved. Like Tom, I'm gonna go into the Highlander thing cautiously optimistic. I haven't seen the first 2 Highlander films in so long. I barely even remember them. I know Sean Connery was
Like in The Exorcist, there is only one.
Yeah.
Well, Andre's only seen one, so that's all he can say. But no, the first film actually got a 4K release not too long ago, so you should check that out again. But the second film,
I tried anyway.
The others are not worth watching. Goodness me.
I remember there was a TV series. Wasn't there a TV series in the 90s or something, Tom?
Yes, there was.
Yeah.
It's a very popular TV series, and that's where I think they're gonna. I think this might and see, because Henry Cavill is more of a Duncan MacLeod type than a Connor MacLeod type. But he is playing. Well, yeah, look at him. Duncan's the dark, handsome Irishman, to where Connor was the light-haired.
Yeah, they don't have to do it like for like, do they?
Scottishman or whatever it was, or I think they were both Scottish, actually. Sorry, not Irish. No, but I mean, just and Duncan was considered the sexy one, like because in the show the women just fawned over him because he had the long hair and all that shit. So I'm curious if we'll see how he looks. If I have a feeling that even though he's playing Connor, I think that he'll look a lot like Duncan. Is my point.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. I think this is great news. I'm super pumped for this.
But yeah, actually, the show was very popular. Got 6 seasons plus a spinoff. Nick, it is extremely popular outside the U.S.
Wow.
Ladies.
Well, what about you, Andre? You haven't really chimed in on this, have you, mate? What do you reckon?
Well, here's like the thing. Never underestimate the importance of a good brand manager. And this guy has, as you pointed out, he has won our faith, and I think that he can be a very good brand manager. If you look at any kind of brand, the moment it goes to hell is when there's a change in who manages the brand. Here we go from something that hasn't really been managed. Well, of course, he's been like one of the stewards on John Wick the whole time, but him taking on that experience and applying it to Highlander, I think that's a good thing. He clearly has like a vision for it. It's kind of a dead brand anyway because there were no other installments, so he's going to remake it in his image. I'm excited for the prospects, and I think that as a brand manager, he's going to try to make a fantastic Highlander universe. So yeah, good. Excited for it. I just wish he would do the same thing with Streets of Rage, which we haven't heard anything about in a long freaking time now.
This is true. Well, there you go. Ladies and gents, we'll shuffle on from that now.